And so as a parent, you're looking big picture while he's just thinking the next 2 months of being on the teams. I will say, if anything, right now, if parents are kind of walking through this and stuff like this, is you got to, again, be in big communication.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continuous support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. All right, baby cakes, we're back.
Wow, these intros today are like explosive.
Hey, how did the music teacher get locked out of her classroom?
She lost the keys.
Her keys were on the piano.
Oh, I knew it was something with the piano.
All right, so I got a new topic for you. And this is a good one. This is very appropriate to our season of just starting school back up and sports kicking in. And the topic is all about developing grit combined with grace, right? And what is the balance that we have with training our kids in their endeavors to be winners, but also to be, while we encourage them. Do you know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah, this is a topic that we have quite a bit. Like, this
Why are
is
you
an
laughing?
ongoing. Well, because it was just last night. Drews was trying out for a sport. And,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, why don't you set us up what he's doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a unique season, and this is a great topic, and I'm sure other parents deal with this stuff as well. You know, because a lot of times what happens is you hear a story, you know, maybe from us even, where it's like, oh, Chrissy just made the varsity tennis team as a freshman. We're so proud of her. And then, you know, what you don't see is like the 3 months prior where I'm all over her about practicing or the other kids, you know, about practicing, and they're resisting. And then when they're not playing well, they're getting whiny and we're correcting, right? And there's just a lot that goes on. And so right now we're kind of in that mode again where, you know, the oldest three just tried out for golf and everybody is super concerned about where they're going to be positioned and, you know, what they could have happen. And they felt like we haven't had enough time to practice and, you know, things like this. And so really a lot of it was just them breaking out of a summer schedule, if you will, of kind of like not being super hyper disciplined with structure and therefore not practicing enough and forgetting to practice or not putting the time in.
Not wanting to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, just like normal kids. Like,
sure.
They want the results.
Procrastinating a little bit, you know.
No, they want the good results, but they don't want to put the practice into it sometimes.
Yeah.
And just like normal kids,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, so we did. The girls just did try out, and it's so funny because, you know, they are gifted, but our kids do need to work. Like, they do have some natural ability, but it's not all natural.
Yeah.
They need to put some work into it. And when they do, you know, again, we always say all the time, like, your best is enough, but your best is required. And when they put their very best into it, I mean,
They're pretty good.
they're pretty good. When they don't, they're okay. You know, somewhere in the middle. And so, but then they'll go to something like a tryout and they'll be like, oh, I want to make the team. I want varsity. I want varsity.
I'm stressing, you know, I'm stressing about this. And they feel unprepared because they are.
Correct.
Right.
And so you and I have had to go back and forth on this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because we come from a different background where, like, for instance, even you know, you very much wanted to be an athlete, but didn't have support all the time to be an athlete.
Yeah, for me, I didn't have support. In fact, I had probably the opposite of support, where I think my parents would have preferred me not to even play anything because then they just saw it as a little bit of a burden on them. And so I had to figure out and learn how to go make a place for myself on every team. Like, I had to, if I wouldn't have learned how to motivate myself, then I never would have played.
Right.
or I never would have, and so our kids don't have that scenario.
Yes. Like even in your scenario, for you to even get to practice, you had to ride a bike several miles before practice even started to then run on the field and do whatever.
Which meant I had to remind myself what time to leave. And, I had to prepare myself for all these kind of things. And
nobody was helping you prepare your snacks, your waters, your food, whatever the case may be. This was upon yourself.
Yeah.
And then for my situation too, I don't come from like an athletic family. I very much love athletics, but if I did or didn't make it, it was kind of like, well, then try out for something else.
Yeah.
And it was never like, why don't you find out how to improve so you actually can do what you want to do type thing.
Yeah.
So all that to say, both of us very much, if we wanted something, had to go seek it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our kids who we very much want to give them what we didn't have, right? I mean, I think that's every parent's desire. So like, if I know a tryout's coming out, I'm having massive meals made for them so they have energy for stuff. You're ready to take them out to practice however many hours. We're making sure they don't get there 10 minutes before, but 30 to 40 minutes before. Like we go to the courses ahead of time. Let's go practice where you're actually going to try out. Like we give them every opportunity to do well. Mm-hmm. But what we can't do is do it for them. Mm-hmm. We can prepare them to the best mentally and physically and emotionally prepare them, but we can't go out there and do the tryout.
That's right.
And so for us personally, we've had to figure out this grace versus grit thing without losing relationship with our kids.
Yeah.
And
it's a balance.
It is, and it's hard. Our first and foremost is we're parents in a relationship with our kids.
That's right.
Sports comes after that.
Yeah.
We don't want to be those parents that are on our kids 24/7 and then we lose any connection with them.
And we're honest with ourselves too about isn't our goal isn't to try to have necessarily college athletes or professional athletes. Like we feel as a family we have a different purpose than that overall. Correct. So we know that sports for us is kind of a training ground for life.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
Yes.
But it isn't like we have to try to live vicariously through them so they accomplish a certain level or else we feel like we failed.
Right.
Or we're trying to keep up with other people or things like that. So I think that philosophy we have chosen has helped us a lot to guide this as well. Because otherwise I could see myself getting like hyper, coach mode all the time on them. Like I'm a coach versus a dad at home nonstop. But we don't have that philosophy. And so, but at the same time, if you're going to play, we want you to actually go out there and learn the lessons that it actually you can learn and benefit from in a sport, which is discipline, which is doing things when you don't feel like it, which is stretching yourself and having to and realizing that if you want to be confident, you have to prepare. And there's just how to actually be a good teammate, how to work on the things that you're currently weak at. So that way you don't have that weakness in your sport. Like there's just a lot of things. And so we've been kind of dealing with it, and you and I, we're such a student of people in general. So of course that translates into our kids, but knowing how to even navigate their personalities with this, because like Abby's a different person than Chrissy and Chrissy's a different person than Bella and Bella's different than Drew's. And so we have to come up with different strategic ways to help them advance like they need to. And it's this balance of I'm going to push you, but at the same time, I'm trying to just get you moving so then you push yourself.
Well, and that's the prayer, that we give them enough of the right push in the right direction that they want to do it on their own. Mm-hmm. And then we can be there supportive and encouraging when they already got the ball rolling. Yeah. And so for us, the whole grace and grit thing is a continued conversation between you and I. Yeah. I would say that as a husband and wife and parents together, like we work really hard to remind each other. If I feel like you're pushing too much, then I'll be like, hey, hon, I know you love them, but I think we need to let them go now. I don't think one more practice is going to help them. Yeah. I think I've noticed they're really starting to be emotionally drained by this. And so I think we need to take a breather. And you're like, okay, good to know. Or if I'm being kind of tough because I'm irritated that they're not you're like, I just want you to remember I need to be in mom mode right now because I'm in full-fledged push mode.
Yeah, we just had this conversation.
We just had it.
And it was about, and I'll just, it was about Drew's.
Yes, exactly.
And he had, so basically this scenario is this: we're at a 6A school, it's super competitive. And on top of that, there are some politics that happen, right?
I think they're everywhere in life, but
And so I'm not really that upset about it. I think it is just a way teach our kids that this is part of just how the world works,
Yeah.
you know? And so, you know, part of the politics is that there's some dads that are the coaches that their kids, they've been coaching because their kids are playing, which I understand. And so, of course, they get special slots, but then also they've kind of built a little tribe of families that have been playing basketball together since like second grade through these club sports.
Yes.
And so Drews got a little bit slighted last year in seventh grade, even though he was good enough. He got put on a B team when he was for sure better than half the kids, at least on the A team.
Right.
But the coach literally told me, he's like, but I don't know your kid. Everybody else has been playing, you know, he said, you and I'm just like, well, how do you get to know my kid if I can't get him on your, you know? And then he told me about this club thing. And so he had a tryout yesterday, but as we're leading up to it, I'm telling Drew, I'm like, you need to practice.
Yes.
You need to put some time in. You need to go out in the driveway. The thing is, his personality is he's such a people person. He literally is. He's kind of the opposite of me. I could go in the driveway,
Yes.
and I preferred to be alone.
And he
I
does not.
preferred to work on things without anybody else around.
He does not.
And him, he's just like, Chrissy, can you come play with me? Bella, Dad, you got and like, I'll listen to him. I'm like, Juice, you better practice. He'll go out there. He'll practice for like 4 minutes.
If
then he can't handle being alone. So he's like hanging out with everybody again. And I'm just like, okay, you know? And so a little bit these conversations started coming up, you know, where it's like, I just want to let you know, if you don't do well at tryouts,
I know.
okay, you don't get to complain about it.
Right.
Because you can't get mad about the results you didn't get for the work you didn't do.
Right.
Right. And so, of course, then he starts, you know, practicing 10 minutes instead of 4 in a day, you know. And
the thing about Drews is two things. I love him because like he truly is so good natured and he is a good athlete. If he would have practiced an hour a day, oh my gosh, he would have smoked everybody, right?
he's probably top 5 of all of these
1000%.
kids without even practicing. Yeah.
But then his personality too is like, I really just like being around my family and people. So, I mean, I'll get to that. And then he goes and tries out. And he didn't do horrible, of course. But he did learn a couple lessons.
He did. And I talked to you about this because remember we were talking yesterday. I said, just so you know,
yes,
I'm going to start pushing him
right.
a little bit because he needs it. So I need you to stay in mom mode a
right.
little bit here and keep reminding him Dad's on your side.
Right.
And give him a hug when he needs it because he's probably going to need it. But I'm going to start challenging him a little bit. And so, you know, it kind of came together yesterday where he did good in his tryouts, but there was this one drill where you basically rotate around and you take on another kid one-on-one. And he was getting beat. He was getting beat by a lot of kids. Like you can tell this is a drill that these kids do all the time.
Right.
And he's not used to it. And he's like walking around. I can see his posture starting to get down. He's starting to get frustrated. He's starting to be like, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And I'm telling him inside, I'm like, you need to get tougher. You know, you need to actually get tougher. Okay. And he goes out there. He's still getting beat. He's getting frustrated. And we're driving home yesterday in the car. I needed him in my car, you know, because I needed to have a little conversation. And I didn't say anything because I know Drews, right? Like he's not the type that I need to just go and be like, let me tell you what you got to do.
No, he's not ready.
I got to wait till he asks.
That's right.
You know, and so he's asking, hey, Daddy, what do you think? What do you think I did? Do you think I did good? And I just was like, how do you think you did? Mm-hmm. Didn't tell him, didn't build him up, nothing, you know. And he's like, well, I think I did pretty good, except for that one drill. And then, you know, he started asking me questions like, what do I do in that drill? Mm-hmm. And I just told him, I said, Drew, listen, I told you need to get tougher. He's like, I know. And I'm like, no, I think you need to understand something. Like, if I'm a coach out there and I watch you not be able to handle something and your reaction is, I'm going to give up, you're not on my squad.
Yeah.
In fact, I wouldn't even fault them if they put you on the B squad.
Right.
Right. Because I don't see what happens is it isn't that you can't do it.
Right.
It's just that you just proved to me, you just set your ceiling. Mm-hmm. And so now I know everybody else has a better chance of improving because they'll actually, you know, put some effort into it.
Right.
And I said, you have to get tougher. Like you're going to have to realize this is a physical sport. You want to be too physical versus not physical enough. And he's like, okay. He's like, but how else do you think it did? I said, honestly, I had a hard time getting past that. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm watching for where you can improve.
Right.
I said, so I'm very curious to see how you respond to this. And I didn't give him any more than that.
No, and I don't think he for sure couldn't take any more. I mean, like he's already stressed, like everyone does after a tryout. You're already thinking of all you did wrong, not right. You know what I mean? And then like you know the area that you need to improve, and it's a tougher area for him right now, I should say. And I will tell you, it's one of those things, grace and grit, right?
That's right.
Like, now this is a grit part. Like,
That's
Bruce,
right.
you got to grit this out.
That's right.
And I was explaining it to a couple of friends that it's a hard time because unfortunately in the situation we're at, we're not in the inner circle of these coaches.
Yeah, you gotta make a spot for yourself.
You have to make a spot. You have to almost be too much where they're like, okay, that kid's, I mean, we can't do without him. He might need a little coaching, but he's got some grit.
Yeah.
Like, and we're in a hard place because in a situation we're in, he's going into 8th grade. Getting on this club sport makes a difference if he gets on the A team for 8th grade, which makes a difference on if he even gets on the freshman team at all.
For sure, because they're all connected.
If, like, he can get on even anything past that. We're so competitive here. They only take so many freshmen.
Correct.
And
yeah, if he doesn't get A team 8th grade, he may not even get on the team as a freshman. Mm-hmm.
And that's just how competitive we are.
And that would break his heart.
It would break his heart, which would break our heart. And so as a parent, you're looking big picture while he's just thinking the next 2 months of being on the team. So it is, I will say, if anything right now, if parents are kind of walking through this and stuff like this, is you got to, again, be in big communication. You know, you can't have two people like doing the same exact thing. You can't have, two of us.
Agreed.
And
then also being intentional about how it's going. So, like, for instance, I knew I was going to give him tough love yesterday. I knew it. I knew I was going to push him. We talked about it before we did it. But now I'm also have it in my mind that when he does anything well, I am going to build him up now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I can't become that parent that's like, okay, you did this wrong. And then you go and you fix it. And then it's like, okay, well, I don't even notice it. And now you did this wrong.
Right.
Because that starts creating resentment. So I'm the next part is going to be more the grace part, like the encouragement part, but only when he's doing good things. And I just probably won't say anything about the things he's not doing well at.
Until he's ready again. Like, hey, where can I improve some more, Dad? And then it's another opportunity.
Yeah. But it's going to be fun because I know what's going to happen. He's going to get tougher. He's going to start, it's going to take him to a new level. And then he's going to be so proud of himself because of where he gets to. And you and I are kind of in the background, fist bumping.
Yeah.
Because, he'll probably forget that this helps spark that.
Oh, for sure.
But we don't care.
But
We
that's
don't need credit. We just want to see him win.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
So, good stuff. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.